Hey guys and gals, let's build the 4x4 fire engine with rescue boat by Lego City. This is set number 60412, contains 301 bricks, retails for $34.99, and this set was provided by the Lego Group for early review. So, well, here I can obviously see I got the boat, but here is the boat with the trailer. Somebody's camping with the fire that looked like it went out of control. And here is the 4x4 fire truck. That looks more like a 4x4 pickup than anything else with a camper shed. And it's divided into 4 bags. So here's bag 1. And let's take a look here. And it looks like these are all separate. So it looks like up to 3 people can build this, which is pretty cool. And it just pretty much jumps right on into the build. No stickers, none of that stuff, so it's pretty much self-contained. And lately these city sets have been pretty much high-end. Alright, let's open this up and let's begin with bag 1. And so far I've been pretty happy, but I think this vehicle here is supposed to go at the fire station. Almost every one of these is supposed to. And I think it might be a new strategy that Lego's trying to shoot for. You have to buy all the sets in order to have a complete model, and not knowing that until you get to the last couple of builds, and you're like, well, I don't know. I mean, no one's gonna, maybe some will. So in order to have the whole complete setup. So individual models will work fine, but well, I thought this was a little kid's haircut. No, yeah, I don't know what's with Lego and the weird hairstyles for the firemen. I guess to make it fun, I don't know. What do I know? I'm not a fashion person at all. There we go, and that takes care of her. And I'm going to this one here is going to be kind of small. I'm probably going to set this one on the turntable. I don't know yet. And I'm going to... I only had 3.5 hours of sleep. I couldn't sleep last night, so I figured, well, it's 9 o'clock. I'm kind of awake, so I may sound a little bit whiny in a way because I'm still trying to get the sleepiness off. I mean, I thought, I'm in the mood to build, let's build. And did I even open up the right bag? I mean, here's the windshield. Or did I, yeah, where's that at? I don't see any of the bags. Or it could be in one of those containers. I was picking up parts last night and found one on the floor. Usually pour them out. Let me check all these. It's only one 2x14, and I'm just checking all the bins here. Doesn't hurt. No, you know what? I bet you it's probably in the box. If not, they didn't pack it. That would be sloppy if they didn't. All right. Well, I hate to think I have to fail it. Just because when I dumped everything out, I'll rewatch the video. But I don't know where that piece went. I can't even do step 1 without that. Yeah, if I have to dig in my collection for that, let me check. Okay, I had to scrounge one up, and I looked and looked and looked. I don't know what happened to it. I looked on the floor. Yeah, so I've never had to fail a Lego set at the very first step. Usually it's scratched parts, usually a piece is missing at the very beginning, but I looked, and you would not be able to even start this without this piece. I don't know if... I'll rewatch the footage before I do the review, but if it's not there when I do it, I check the box, I checked all the bags. My friend said, just keep the bags until you are fully done. And I did that, right? So, and still not there, so I've never failed a set, ever. I mean, this right here has just got some scuffs on it, but I wasn't going to throw a fuss on it. And I think almost every set is failing apart, or missing a part. Now, am I going to... This was given to me for review, so, I mean, could I contact them? I could, but I have a part here, but it kind of just... It degrades the build experience, and that's never good. You know? Like I said, I'll check again before I do my final results. So, we'll see here. Looks like this might be a good universal chassis to start a vehicle off of. Now, we're still going to go through it. Even if I can't find the part, it will get a 0, but we're still going to go through it and talk about the strengths and weaknesses. I'm not going to say, well, it doesn't have all the parts. We're just not going to do it. No, we're going to finish it up. Oh, it's one of these goofy things that doesn't number them and how many pieces you need. All right. I understand if it's like 1, but come on now, Lego. But yeah, in addition to the missing parts, yeah, I'm just hoping to get a nap today. It's cold, it's cloudy, it's raining outside. It's not, you know. Oh, imagine missing that. But I had to dig in the back of my collection just to get a 2x14 plate because I rarely ever use them. It's a handy brick or a plate, but, you know. Okay, so I found 2 of these on the floor. I don't know if this goes to it or not, so I'll keep that over there. And that kind of thing here. And for the most part, I've been pretty pleased with this set. You know, with this, with the fire station, but I think in order to enjoy the full benefits, you have to buy almost every model. So the firehouse is actually the one that you actually have to buy the extra models for. Everything else is kind of supplementary. You don't have to have it, but it could do. And now I may, when I do the whole build of this, I may just do a complication video and just talk about all the strengths and weaknesses of it. You know, it's a nice little add-on. It's like, I do that with my stuff, like with the camper shelf for the little pickup. But the pickup bed, it works for that specific size of bed, so I try to keep those dimensions in check. So it could be compatible. So I can say, oh, this is compatible with my camper shell. I try to keep a standard. So it's easy for you, the builder. You can build the camper shell, and if I bring out a new pickup or something, you can just pop that off and put it on the new model. You know, or you can make a clone of it too. I try to do things like that. Now, seeing that this has 4 bags, I'm assuming that this set here has probably got about 60 to 80 pieces per bag. Since you're getting like, you know, like 3 models in one. Oh, I thought the minifigure was going to sit in there. Why don't we just use a 4x4? A pair of 2x4s would have sufficed. Yeah, I've never done a video this close to back, but guys and gals, I'm almost done. We're going to see if we can get this done today. I was listening for something. Yeah, so the holidays are upon us. My nephew's taking his hardest final, and I'm hoping he studied, which, you know, I won't say any more on that one, but... Of course, I did have somebody in the family offer their kid a job, or ask me if I had a job for their kid, and I was like, no. Not that you didn't have the grades, but it was just, that's kind of odd. Those shouldn't those go inside, not outside? But I was like, I don't have anything available right now. Oh, there's 4 of them. I wasn't looking very carefully. I can always use those for making vehicles to go around the mud guards. But it's a bright, colorful build pretty much. Why don't we just do it more like that then? Yeah. Like, well, you could do better with the seat. What did they use this for the back of a seat for? I don't get that. Sometimes I'll get lazy too and just have the minifigure sit on there. But I always like to have that tiled, at least have 2 studs in the rear to kind of fix the minifigures down. It just keeps them from sliding around in there. When there's 4 in there, it's hard to press the minifigure in and take them out without decapitating the head. You pull it out and the head comes, but the bottom is still stuck in the vehicle. Maybe that's their version of the seat belt in there. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm hoping to get all these reviewed. This is the last of them. This is the last of that batch that I do. I saved the smallest ones for last just because it's just easier to do a smaller set and just say, okay, I can slow down a bit. After I get done with all these, I will check again. And if that part is still MIA, because I have the bags in the box here, and I don't see any of that in here. I don't look on the floor. I looked everywhere for it. I'll check again. And if so, it'll... I mean, this is a nice build. I don't want to fill it with a 0. And Lego's lowest ratings on their thing is a 1. I can't go any lower than that. And I'm hard on stuff, you know, and I don't like to just fail things, but sometimes it is warranted. You have to do it. Oh, it goes like that. But I'll check again just in case. Like I said, I don't want to just call the kettle black. But yeah, so building guides 1 and 2 just do the vehicle. Well, we're just going to put this part on first. I really wish Lego would make this piece here with a flat tile instead of the studs, because that would be really cool. Take our teething toys and put that on there. Usually I use these type of windshields more for cars than I do for trucks. But to each his own. And that's it, and that's what we have remaining for bag 1. Alright, here we are with bag 2, and I found the piece. You know where it was at? It was stuck in the bottom of the butter container. I mean, it was wedged in there. So, glad I checked. Man, I wish now I had some transparent clear ones, but, well, that's just how it is. Alright, here we go. Let's get going here. And let's build this one. And let's see here. Looks like this is the winch. And you get real rubber tires. Keep hearing these big cars. Yeah, unlike when we were in high school and you had to sit the full time, or the one I went to, today the kids just get out early when they finish up their classes. But for some reason, more kids hang out at the school parking lot today, where, I don't know, when I was a kid, when the school bell rang and we had bells, we didn't have that beeping noise like they do today. We all got in our cars and got the heck out of there. Our parents picked you up or whatever. You got out of there quick. I mean, if you had after school programs, it was fine, but you know, that kind of thing. So I think we got one of these things with the stud. I think it's one of these right here. And since this is only 301 bricks, it shouldn't take that long. And 301 bricks. I think in the original video I said 311. So I'll have to correct it. How would I correct something like that? Just do a voiceover. Take the part off this one and shove it in there. They're pretty much the same anyways, and yeah. But I'm just glad I don't go to school today because all the violence and stuff going on in those places, and that's basically how it is. And two, I always thought school was boring. They stuck me in college courses because high school was just boring. Lego would have took less ink if you just print the 4X by that. Okay, it's one of those vehicles here where the doors are the same, they're in opposite directions. So I'm just going to be inclined to put the door backwards here on this side. And put this one the way the instructions show it. You always hear me say, it's your Lego set, you can build it any way you want. So you can build it any way you want. Like I said, I've seen videos being passed around on YouTube, like Party Favors, on their version of how to do a Lego set correctly. Well, if you're having fun, you did it correctly. So as long as you have fun putting something together, who cares, right? Now, I still got a bunch of sets to do, and I think these go in here. I'm going to look. Yep, that's where they go. And I'm hoping to get this set done today, just so I can review it. Reviewing this one's going to be real easy. If I don't get to it, I don't get to it. I have a bunch of other things I got to do, but right now I'm just trying to pick at things and get it done and just finish stuff up and all sorts of stuff like that. So yeah, this one here we won't have to worry. So remember the fire station that we did, or if you had, or if it depends on the order which I released these in. This is, you remember there was 2 bays. There was one for vehicle 1. Well, that doesn't go there. What am I thinking? And one for vehicle 2. Here's number 2. That's what I was saying. You actually, in order to get all the vehicles, you have to buy all the sets for it. And now, seeing that, and I'll mention that in the review. It's kind of slimy how Lego did that. It would have made a great companion set. The other set could still be playable with it, but I think you need to buy that and the helicopter to make it a complete set. The big giant airplane probably can go with it too, but I'm talking about to make the whole set complete. That's where sometimes I kind of wish I would revise some of the things that I do. And I don't build everything and grade it all at once. And Lego even mentions that they like us to do them all separately, which is easy for me too. And there's supposed to be a white and a blue one. I know somebody who got in trouble because they had red and blue flashing lights for underglow, and they got a ticket for it. Very expensive one. I thought it was the emergency vehicles. Well, wait a minute. Is that not supposed to hang over? Did I do something wrong here? That's hanging over. That, I'm checking my work. This is supposed to hang over here. Oh, how silly of me. Okay. I was like, what? No, that goes on there. Okay. I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. What did I do? How did I mess that up really bad? Well, that's how I did it. Gotta love messing things up for you. Confuse you, make you, just get you all confused here. Well, that's a new way of putting a bumper on. Huh, that's not a bad idea. They could have put a little license plate there too. Hey, it's not printed, so I don't care. Let's just stick a tile in there if you want. And oh, this just hangs at the bottom like that. And I thought it had to snap in. I thought, well, that's cool if it snaps in. They could have gotten away with it. And for the most part, though, I've been pretty happy with the city builds. Now, just by looking at them again, I kind of question their strategies here on that. I may have to stop here and clean all that off. See, like right here, there's a little hole there, and then this right here is offset. I'm not too fond of that. But it's just my style, I guess. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Woo. They even got the printing for the tires, too, included. And I like these tires, and just stick the... Well, wait a minute. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And these are beefy tires. They would work really well for mocks. Make sure that the lug nuts are facing out, because that's what the kiddies want. Oh, you put them on backwards. Yeah, well, who's going to know? You always got to have that one oddball tire. Oh, see, I got that one backwards. That's how I've always taught putting them on there. I got to pop that out and do it again. Just kind of flip them around, like do this to make sure they're on there really good. And we have a stud launcher. Oh, okay, I was going to say, where's that go? This is kind of like their version of the fire hose. Like that. And well, if the minifigure is going to hold it like this, I'd like to have the hose at the bottom there. And I like these. You know why? Because I don't have to tie those stinking knots. There you go. And you can launch that up. Will I launch that up? Probably not. And they got a holder here. You can hang this in here like that. Before you start playing around with that, just roll this up. Like that, and it should be fine, just to kind of get that out of the way. And we have some blue stuff, so those are the studs that go with it. It's telling you to load it up, and you're locked and loaded, ready to go, and you got the blue hand from the void coming to visit you to show you how to shoot that. And we may just have to set this one up here. And that's what we have remaining. I'm going to keep two of these off the side here. Let's put these over here. And yeah, that's not too bad. And let's begin with bag 3. And I forgot to pick up the extra string, so they give you one of those. So yeah, so far now, since we found that missing piece, haven't had any issues. The set is still a flat 10. It's keeping my interest. Yada, yada, yada. And that means now we're moving on to booklet 2. And building the boat and trailer next. I'm hoping just to breeze through this here. Okay. So let's begin. Let's build it. Yeah, I hate sometimes when somebody pulls a fast one on me. And I'm like, oh, no, no, no. And something happened, and I was like, somebody was thinking I was kind of silly. I like that face. At least he's got a normal, like the messy bedhead, spiky do. It's the Jay the Surfer hair. Just the spiked crop is all that is. And a helmet. At least he looks somewhat normal. Right, Lego, you didn't give him the long dreads or something to kind of make it look like he's a more, I don't know, just, they got the other guys in this, like with the long hair and stuff like that, firefighters, and you have to take the hair off to do that. Now we're working on the boat. I don't think I have one of these in red. In fact, this is 6 studs wide. I think the other ones were 8s and 10s or something, but I don't think I even have a 6. I don't know. That's a good accessory piece just right there alone. I mean, it is. I think it's the 10s and it jumps down to 6. Too many black pieces, so what am I doing? Sorting them out because I'm looking for a downwards angular plate. Unless it's still stuck in the bin. Or is it gray? Or did he even grab the right bag? Oh, there it is. The way the light was hitting it looked almost like it was white or like a light gray. Jay, now don't fail this one. I'm going to try my best not to fail it. I'm going to try my best, but it's got to be perfect. So far, we're halfway through, and we haven't failed it yet. That's nice to use those for props. That's pretty cool. Keep it pretty much scaled. Never thought about using the ice cream toppers for that. So if you're looking for number 3, there's number 3 for the fire station. In fact, I think they even had one in there for the boat. So this set here is a companion with the firehouse. They don't really tell you that it is a companion, which Lego should. And it's kind of a shame. You got binoculars and the 2-way radio. There's only comes with one radio, I believe. So the guy will have to call out in space to phone ET. Yeah. Oh yeah, well these little wheels work pretty good for boats. You know, you don't have to use those in there, but I thought this had more of oars, but boat oars. But and that wraps up the boat. Now we got to do the trailer. Yes, I'm kind of going through this pretty fast. I got a bunch of other things that I want to get started today, like finishing up videos. I got to wrap some gifts and get that going. I'm procrastinating because I got to get all this stuff out of here. I'd rather have it all filmed to the best of my ability and then work on it later. Because then I can just... means I can have a house full of people. It's noisier and I can still edit instead of filming. Like I try to do these in a quiet room because a lot of people out here like blaring their music in the house now, and I don't want to get a copyright strike. I mean, I would love to have more of a background filler in these too. It's like I said, it's the record companies that just in the production companies, they just don't want any of that in there. And I know about royalty free, but I need to go through and just find something that sounds pretty cool and just play it in the background, not put it in the video, but play it in the background. And then any songs that are played in here, just link it to their iTunes or whatever. You know, some of these guys, they have royalty free, and then after that they, you know, some even just say, hey, link our music to our iTunes, which I have no problem with. I mean, that's fair. It's free advertising. You know, hey, I like this song by this artist. I'm going to advertise it and play it in my thing. Well, the record companies are so greedy now. They just, oh, no, 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 no. We want all of them. It's like if I were to have the music, let's say I have a song playing in the background that's copyrighted. the musician would take, or the record companies would take all the earnings. They would claim, I think, all the views and stuff, even though if the main focus of the video is this. You know, that's where I have the issues. It's not a bad trailer. It's pretty robust. But yeah, I would love to do a lot of stuff. But movies and motion picture companies are pretty much ruining that off. I bet we're going to round that off. That's exactly what we're doing. We're just about done here, folks, for the day on this one. This is pretty quick here. Well, provided if I can get all the parts on. Okay, now let's put all that together. And my allergies and asthma are flaring up, so I'm clearing my throat in between. Like if I have to pause the video, or like I said, I say the word pause, so that lets me know. It's like a keyword that I use to let me know to pause the video. And clear my throat, go use the restroom, then come back. I don't stop the recording, and I'll say unpause. That's a keyword to let me know to resume the video. So the part that you hear, I just edit. Now I could stop. The problem is I have so many files to upkeep. It's just, I would forget, so I just let it go. So like when I record, like this is recorded as, you know, 60412 bag 3, and then that tells me okay, you know, it's yes, it's more space on the memory card, but then again I don't have to keep track of paperwork on that. It's just better that way. That's kind of clunky there, and since it's supposed to simulate some kind of a storage unit. Alright, now we got to put together the axle. You making cars, these will be your best friend, is these little 2x2 by 2/3 plate with bearing. Alright. It would help if I put it right underneath the wheel wells. Alright, now we gotta put some tires on that rig. These it doesn't matter. At least I got the balloon tires on this. It's not the goofy ones that I use sometimes. Oh, and there's supposed to be this on the top here. Whoa, that's not how that goes. That's how it goes. And that's what we have remaining. And the boat just rests on the 2 studs. Not too bad. Okay, well, we're on the last bag here. This is pretty small, so I don't think I really even need a turntable for it more and more. I don't even think I need to do a close-up shot on this too. So now we're in booklet 3. So this is indeed a modular build up to 3 people can build, or if you want it to be more even, just to have 2 people build it. Somebody built the campsite and the boat, and the other one builds the RV, or the 4x4. Okay. Alright, so we were talking about how this guy is dressed when we were unboxing this. Like, this is something you'd see like in Back to the Future when they had Marty dressed up into Western. Why did they do that? There was always been a discussion. Maybe I should do that. Remember back in 1955, there was only black and white TV. Okay. You don't think everyone wore black and white clothing, it wouldn't have mattered, but having different colors of clothing gave you different effects on television. We got the nicely, neatly groomed hair with the taper. Looks like one. And yeah, this guy's ready to go, except he's got a shocked look on his face, and he's got his fork ready. Maybe they ran out of the special. I don't know. Well, first I gotta get the fork in his hand. There we go. That's what he looks like right there. So, whoops, he got 3 minifigures. That's not too bad. And now let's get going on this. So you can see I'm kind of working a little fast today. But for the most part, though, I've been pretty happy with these sets. This is more like my speed because it's got the camping theme here. So I'm hoping LEGO sends me some camper sets, because then I can display those in my campground and just show that they would work. I kind of wish LEGO would work more with us creators for that, content creators, because there are certain sets that like I could just see myself doing and they would fit well. Like these fit well with the city theme. Since I do a lot of the city suburb stuff, this definitely would work. That's what I'm saying. It really would work very well for my niche of building. Yeah. So today it's just been kind of cold outside. They said it's going to be 70, but I don't know. I walked out there, it was just freezing cold, and which I don't mind. Just got a beanie on. But I got short sleeves. My ears are super sensitive to cold, and that's probably the only bummer. That's the only bad side, is my ears they're just sensitive to cold. Alright. Must be a little dock that goes there. And what's with all the fires in Lego City lately? I mean, plastic fires are nasty, you know. If you ever smelt like a rubber tire fire, those are really polluting. You could just see the black soot coming out because of the oil products being burned off into the atmosphere. And out here they have to have a permit to do it. Well, why would you want to burn them completely anyways? I thought they recycled that stuff. You know? Yeah, out here their version of recycling is tossing it into the dumpster. When I go to these recycles places and I see old televisions, I'm like, you know, the more older stuff, I'm like, hey, can I have that? I restore old vintage stuff. We're talking stuff probably up to the early 80s. Oh no, we're using this for this is a customer sent this in for recycling. We can't sell it to you or anything like that. And I've had it happen. And I'm like, I'm willing to give you cash, and I could get cash from the grinder. Oh no, we can't. And I remember one time years ago, I saw him throw this roundy, or an old school tabletop roundy set, probably from the late 50s, early 60s. They just tossed it in the dumpster. It was one of the early color sets too. I thought I was willing to give the guy $50 as I wanted it just for restoration. That's kind of cool how the tint goes together like that. Oh no, we can't sell it to you. That's the customer sent that in. We can't do it. Let me understand. So they tossed it in there and they broke it. I thought, dude, I'm willing to give you $50, and they grind it up. What are they gonna get? Maybe $5 out of that thing? You know, you're not gonna get a whole lot of money out of it from the dumpster. It was a roundy screen. I don't know if the picture tube was any good, but it would have been nice to have it. The cabinet looked like it was in immaculate condition. And it was like a... I can't remember. I think it might have been a Zenith. And yeah, it was in the dumps. They tossed in right when I was getting in my pickup, and I thought, man. And then they're so focused in this, where I'm at, and I don't want to get into the politics of it, but they're so focused out here in saving the environment and all that stuff, and I'm like, well, why don't you just tell me to build 2 of these to begin with? Lego, I mean, really. But they're like, they were so focused on that. Oh, no, 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 you can't. It's like automotive things, you know. I'm looking for some, just for some interior parts for my truck. I'm trying to restore it. And it's like, no, you got to buy new. Well, you're talking about a vehicle that hasn't been in production in 30 years. You know, how the heck am I going to find parts? Oh, that's time for you to buy a new one. And I'm like, well, I don't think I need a new one that bad. We got to make 2 of these here. And I'm like, here, I'm trying to restore something. You're telling me to buy new stuff. I thought I heard a door close. Well, I can't get that one. Let's see if we can get these to face outwards to make them look more grandiose. But no, I mean, that was... but they're so focused out here into... well, let's recycle. Okay, I'm all for recycling, but... it's like a lot of stuff, I use it until it's completely broken. And if it's not functioning right, I still do that. All right. So we have the fires. These just sit in here. You could just ram the boat into that. That'd be fine. And okay, we have, this must be the cooker. Boy, this guy's a careless camper. He's sure got fires everywhere. He's got the frying pan here with the egg. He's got his fork ready to go, and the egg looks like it's in still good shape. Or was he lighting up the forest and thought that was how you light up a campfire? And that's what it looks like right there. So, yeah, you're not supposed to light the ground. You're supposed to light up the burner there. Maybe it's a propane cooker. And that's what we have remaining. And, you know what? It would be easier for a turntable for this one after all. But you know what? We got to get a little sloppy on smaller sets. And the turntable's already occupied with the other fire parts. So, let's set this up here. And then... for the most part, it's a pretty good build. And I'm going to say right now it's going to get a good high score. I wish these could be fixed, but I understand their concept. This thing does not have a leveling jack. Okay, yeah, I filled up the memory card. Now, what was I saying here? I don't know. Hey, after this, I don't really care. So this piece here that I found on the floor, I don't know where that went to. Well, I can go over there now. And for the most part, though, the trailer does not have a leveling jack. So that's pretty much what you're going to need to do with it. All right. So let's put everything here. I'm going to keep these off to the side. I'm going to set it up real quick. And then I'm going to take a picture of it. And we obviously know he's going to go in the boat. And we'll put him right there. We'll just have him sitting like that. Let's get him away from the fire there. Maybe the fireman will earn extra points if he hits him, huh? There we go. Put him, or you know what? We could put him right in front of the tent too. This is the only thing. I wish this would lock in better. I don't understand why they did it. Okay, I think we're good there. And we'll set this here. And then what I'm going to do here, this needs a leveling jack. Why they didn't do it, I don't know. I'm just going to hitch it up to the back here. And Alright, let's see here. It looks bigger on the video. So she's got the axe, and we're just going to put him back here. He's going to stand here and watch. And then the helmet, I'm just going to have it sitting on the steering wheel. Okay, I think that's pretty good how that is. Now, I'm just trying to get everything here set up here where you can see it. And when I do the thumbnail like this, it'd be more at a better angle. I'm looking at it from a different perspective here. And I think that's pretty good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take a picture, so you're going to hear me rustling around with the thing a bit. I don't know if it's going to stop the recording. And okay, let's see if we can get a good thumbnail out of that right there. See if I can pull that back. At least you get to see how I do things, huh? Only thing is, I got this glare here off the windshield. Oh, let's turn on the floodlight while we're here. I mean, that's what I have it for. Let's use that real quick. We're ready to go here. I'm just ready to get this one done here. Let's put it down to 60, or well, 59 is close enough. And the reason why I like using the floodlight is I can saturate things. Now, unfortunately, oh, we forgot about this helmet here. We'll put that in the back there on the radio antenna. There we go. Today is Unsafety Day. Okay. Now I always take a look at the thumbnails, and this one here is kind of blurry. So we'll retake that again. Hey, you know what? Can you imagine if back when I was a kid we did not have this technology? Yikes, you know, imagine that. Alright, that's, the vehicle just looks kind of blurry. Let me do one more shot here. Let me back it way out over here. I can't see it. I have to get below the tripod now for that. Sometimes if you back up further, you get better. Plus, I downscale them anyways when I'm done. And the vehicle is sharp. Okay, the third one's a charm. Okay, there we go. We got that done. Now I can go back to the recording. All right. So I think what we're going to do here, let me get everything positioned. You don't need the floodlight that bright for the video. So I'm going to turn this down so it's kind of dark there. So I just want enough to kind of give it some light. And I'm going to break the video in a second. And what we're going to do here, let me take a look. How bad is my horizon on that? Yeah, that's manageable. And we're gonna resume off with the review and notes. And matter of fact, this will be the final part now. So this is going to be the formal review coming up. So let me get the lamp out of my way. I don't want to hit my head on that. It looks pretty good. So like that, and we can get that glare off there. All right, so I'm going to start with the formal review. On the left, we have the 4x4 fire truck. We have the Raft that's hitched to the back. There are 3 minifigures, and here's a little campsite scene. And I like this, so we're going to take a look at the campfire real quick. This guy got a little careless here, as you can tell. What happened here, he just, I guess he was lighting up the ground instead of his egg he's got in the frying pan. I like the idea for the tent. It's pretty simple. Not too bad, and it is playable. And I'm surprised he didn't put the flames in the tree. just for that, that would look good in my little campground there, just that setup alone. I don't know what's with his shirt he's wearing. You can tell he's an older gentleman. Yeah, he's got that fork, but what is he doing? Staring at the flames he started. Well, we'll have to put that out here in a second. So here's our two firefighters. Nice printwork for the torsos and the pants. Well, okay, you want to take a nap. Faceplant with a wood axe is never good. We got this gentleman here with the spiky hair and a life vest, so he's obviously going to be navigating the boat. All right, we'll take a look at this here. Doors do open up, and there's access into the interior of the cab. Just a steering wheel. Now, they could have just made this a little better inside, but, I mean, for city, we can't complain. And that top goes back on. We got two compartments here. You can stick the helmets in there if you desire. We could put this one in here and get that out of the way. We don't want to lose it. This bigger one, I don't think it fits in there. No, you can just do that. And so we'll just leave that sitting on the steering wheel and the boat. We'll take a look at the boat here in a second. And it's pretty good for what this vehicle is. This would look good in a Lego city. And here you got your stud launcher. It does come with a few of these little tiles. These right here. We're not going to put those in there, and this does pull out. You may want to hand crank this out, and your minifigure can grab onto this. So you can have the boatsman hold on to this, and then he can shoot the studs out, which is kind of cool. It's a bit top heavy, but you just have to hold them and do that. And then when you're done, you can just roll this up here and stick that back on the back. That's not too bad there at all. Looks really good. And I like the color scheme of it and the water tanks on the side, the front bumper and grill. And here's the boat. It just does detach. Here's the trailer. The only thing this thing does not have is a leveling jack, so unfortunately it just kind of flops around there. And you can just hitch it up to the back of the 4x4, and it's pretty level for the most part. Really cool. And then here's this here. Very basic. You got a radio and a set of binoculars to look for the fire. And I wish there was a way to fix these to something, but I just stick them on the steering wheel. Yes, it's got another one of those little wheels. Here's the outboard motor. I think that's what it's called. And for the most part, it's a nice little red Raft. I don't think I even have a Raft in that color. And we can just set the studs in here for safekeeping. And for the most part, it is a very nice little build. And this, I believe, is meant to be a companion for the giant firehouse. And the truck has got 2. This one's got 3. Remember, in the firehouse, we had an open bay for the truck. So I think that's meant to be a companion for this. Now, let me reposition everything here, and as I'm positioning, we're going to start with the play value for the set. And honestly, the play value on this set is pretty good for what it is. It is a fully playable model. You do have the 3 minifigures and plenty of accessories, including the forest that's burning down because the camper was careless. But for the most part, it is a nice accessory set. And this will keep a young one entertained, as well as for an older builder. As for build quality, I didn't have anything fall off. Now these right here are meant to be floating around, but these trees seem somewhat durable. Maybe these leaf pieces might come off. But all in all, it's not too bad. I can see this being placed in my campground too, minus the fire, because my campers are a little more responsible than this guy. Maybe we'll have to ban him from my campground. We don't want him to burn all that down. All those spruce trees I've been planting in there. But for the most part, it's really nice and colorful. So that does add to the build experience as well. But I enjoyed building this set. It was fun. It was a quick build. So build experience is very pleasant with this one. I mean, it's just fun all around. Plenty of play features. It's fun to build. That's really good. Now, there's a couple things that I need to note here. I wish this trailer had a leveling jack on the front, so when you unhitch, at least you can leave it flat. It just kind of rests on the ground like this. That's kind of unfinished. Other than that, it's probably the only thing, and I wish the fire pieces, you can fix those to something. And a place to attach the helmet. I always like looking for things that can be fixed. Could you find a place to put it when you're done playing with it so you don't have to lose it? I mean, nobody wants to lose accessories to stuff like this, especially small pieces. Probably the only downside with this set. Nothing major in here. I did have a few slight scuffs on the windscreen, not too bad. But I wasn't going to hardcore ding anything off. I'm going to ding this set off just a few points for that. Nothing major. Could this be dropped in a city? Yes, it's ready to go. You can just set this right in there. You can set this in your forest theme. I mean, this looks good. You can put this with your fire station. It's ready to go. This is self-contained. This you just need to maybe build out a little bit, so I don't know, but you can transplant these little scene here into an existing build. It'd be fine. For mock value, well, you could probably make different versions of this vehicle back here and make this into anything you want. And I hear the home phone ringing while I'm doing a review, and I'm just going to ignore it. Gotta love my raw, uncut reviews. But for the most part, though, it is a nice build. It's just universal. Now my score is going to be a 9.7, mainly just because of this. I'm sure somebody can just come in there and stick one of those hinge plates in there and just make it like a little kickstand, or put something here. But for the most part, it's a nice accessory set, and like I said, this is meant to go with the firehouse, so you actually have to get this separate with it. So if you get the firehouse, that's what garage number 2 is meant to be for, is for this. I don't know if that will fit in there. It should. But for the most part, it is a nice build at that, and I really don't see anything majorly wrong with this set. It's cool looking, and plus I like camping in the outdoors. So all we got to do is just remove these flames out of the way. That's what the stud launcher's for. Set those off to the side there. And it looks just like a little camping set. This right here would have made a great little set by itself there. I like the way the tint turned out too. But overall, I'm really happy with this build. But tell me what you think of this set, especially for $34.99 for 301 pieces. Yes, it seems a bit steep, but you are getting fully printed pieces too. You know, there's no stickers to fuss with or anything like that. And the builds are pretty robust. I want to know what you think of this build. To me, I'm overall satisfied with it.